Yo guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm out here on the Mafia. Now, you may already have read the title, which I guess that's why you clicked on the video, because you've read the title to come and hear my opinion on this. So yeah, if you are watching the video and the subscribe button is still red, then mate, don't really know what you're doing. Pattern up, subscribe, and also leave a like, because helps the channel out a lot and makes the videos just do better if they get more likes. They do usually tend to do better. So yeah, absolutely free, and you can always unsubscribe in the future if you don't like me. So yeah, let's get straight into the video, and you already know what it is. And yeah, let's just get straight into it, and I'll be back with you when I'm at a place where I can record this with less cars being around. So yeah, I'll be back with you then. Hey guys, I don't know how, actually I think you can see it quite well. So as you can see, I am with the Mafia, and I actually got some food from the shop. Some chips in there, some chicken, but I'm gonna wait till after I recorded the video to eat that. And I've got my drink down there. So basically, today I'm gonna be talking about my opinion on what's better, SE bikes or Mafia bikes. So I'm going to start off with the first factor, which is build quality. And now this is just going to have to go to SE bikes, because when you get a Mafia bike, you're going to notice that some of the parts, maybe even straight out the box, aren't working how you'd like them to. Like, I've heard things of people getting a bike from Mafia and the gears actually come not working like very well, which you won't really ever get that with an SE bike, even though there's only like 2 bikes which actually have gears. But those kind of like little things, like so the gears might not come working properly, the brake might come a bit bad. I mean, SE bikes can't really talk about the brakes because they literally give you a mechanical stock, so at least Mafia kind of try well with giving you a tetro. But it's not even just that, that's short term. I'm looking at long term as well. Most Mafia bike parts don't last long time. Like this chainring is bent, it's making a clicking noise. My gears don't change or work properly, they always slip off each other. And this is the 3rd time I've had to replace the chain, and I've got a new, well, 3rd time, but the chain's at home, so I haven't actually managed to put it on yet. But yeah, all the parts on the Mafias break quite easily. Both my wheels are buckled, and I know that obviously I'm wheeling it, so stuff like that will happen, but you'd expect it to at least last a bit longer than it did, because from what I'm aware of, this bike is only about 7 or 8 months old, and most SE bikes will last in better condition than that. So first round, which is build quality, is going to SE bikes. So I'm going to get onto the next one now. Okay, so the next one is how easy they are to wheelie. Now, this might be controversial to some people, but I'm going to have to go with Mafia bikes, because so this round's just won by Mafia bikes, because simply the fact that if you're a new rider and you're trying to get into wheeling, I'm going to always recommend a Mafia over an SE bike, purely because of the fact that there's so many like different options that are going to be easy to learn. Like the easiest to learn, so let's say if you're trying to learn and you want a small bike, so you get a block flyer, but the brakes on them are awful and they're not very good for learning. So you've got a bad brake, but you've got a good size, and it's a bad ratio to try and learn on. There's no 26-inch geared bike that's small, and even if you get a Duro, the fat tyres might make it a bit harder when you're learning off. And that's also at the point where it's like 1k, and I don't think many beginners are going to be spending 1k on a bike as their first wheelie bike. I mean, you might do, but I don't really think that happens very often. Whereas you can get one of these for, I think they're like 450 or 500, and you can get a smaller one, like a 26 bomber, for that kind of price. But I'd probably recommend you get one with gears as your first bike, because obviously you can work your way up through the gears unless you've already had like a Carrera or something and you've got used to the higher gear ratio and stuff like that. And everyone who's a beginner always makes a big deal about not having suspension. I don't think it makes any difference. I actually think suspension makes it harder to wheelie, because like, I don't know, it like absorbs most of some of your pull up when you're leaning down. That's my opinion anyway. So I think suspension actually makes harder to wheelie, so yeah. Second round's going to Mafia just purely because I think that people, when they're going to learn to wheelie and stuff, it's just like this bike is going to be better for people wheeling. Well, not just this one, like any Mafia bike, but maybe when you get a bit better, a Fat Ripper might suit you quite well, or Duro. I do kind of want a Duro as well, but that's kind of life, so yeah. Okay, the third factor is how the company treats their clients. Now this one's just basically a complete draw, because both companies have their good sides and their bad sides. Like SE bikes will definitely, like, they're always doing giveaways and stuff like that. But so do Mafia as well, they're always doing giveaways. Like, I've never really heard of an SE bike, like SE bikes being controversial and like saying something they shouldn't have said. So anything like that, like they always like say the right things and stuff like that. So they're not saying anything racist, nothing like that. But at the same time, if you do break your bike, they're not very likely to do anything. And as it comes to the UK, they don't sponsor anyone in the UK, when I think they should be sponsoring a few people in the UK, like Duff, who's literally had like 30 or 40, probably more SE bikes, and he's never been sponsored. It's kind of confusing why he hasn't, when there's some riders in America that have been sponsored for literally doing nothing, but they haven't actually ever done anything wrong. There's a few things that they haven't done that they should have done, so you can't really fault them, but I would say, like, yeah, there's a few things they could change. But when it comes to Mafia, they're mostly pretty good. They're pretty good at sponsoring people. They sponsor a lot of people. If you want to sponsor me, you know, HMU, right, I'm down. I'm joking. Well, not really. If you want to sponsor me, that's cool. But that's not what we're talking about. Yeah, they're quite good. They sponsor quite a lot of people. They sponsor like Ted, S1. Who else? They sponsored Logan for a bit, but that's where one of the controversial bits comes in. Billy MK, I'm pretty sure. One Way Ollie. There's a few other people that I'm missing. I'm pretty sure, like K Stunts and Wheelie K. I'm sure there's quite a few people that are sponsored by them, but I'm just forgetting. Oh, Bike Life Rex from America as well. But however, they have had some controversial things with not paying black riders as much as they're paying white riders. I don't know everything about it, but there's obviously going to be other videos on that. So not from me, from other people talking about it more. And I saw what happened with Logan. They was just basically saying like how bad of a rider he is and stuff like that. So yeah, I was a bit peaked what happened to him, and I've heard quite a few bad things about how they treat their sponsors, which isn't really how you should be treating someone who is riding for you and trying to promote your company. So that's my opinion anyway on that. So I'd say it's fairly even, but SE bikes were slightly better on that side, but Mafia bikes do also have quite a bit of good when it comes to their buyers and when it comes to things like that. So you can't fault them too much. So I'm going to get on to the next bit. Alright, so the next bit is quite short. There's a fucking man. Use for a keyboard. Yeah, next bit is price. Now obviously the Mafia bikes have won on price. Like, their bikes are so cheap. I'm pretty sure their cheapest, their most expensive bike is like, what was like 600 or something, and like SE bikes, the cheapest bike is like, that you'd actually want to buy, because no one would want to buy a SoCal, is like, I think it's like 550. So their low range bikes are kind of like oh wait, I'm getting a call. Right, I'll continue this. Okay, sorry about that. We was talking about price, and yeah, Mafia bikes just have a much better price, but at the same time that kind of goes in with the build of the bikes. If you're paying less, then obviously this is kind of similar to an Enduro in a way. It's like got gears, 27.5, all of that, but obviously this is just the cheaper version, I suppose, and obviously things are going to break easier. But I don't know, like, even like, I work my bike quite hard and my axle isn't actually that bent. Like, it doesn't look really straight today, but I've looked at it before and thought it was a little bit bent. So obviously it could be stronger, but if we're just talking about price, Mafia's obviously one, because their bikes are really cheap, and they're definitely good if you haven't got a lot of money and you just want to get a wheelie bike. I'd recommend you get one of these. So now I'm going to be talking overall about what I prefer, whether I prefer Mafia or SC bikes, which is probably why I clicked on the video. So this is probably going to be a surprise to all of you, but I just have to go with SC bikes. Like, SC bikes is where I came up on. I started on a Fat Ripper, that's where I started to get really good. So SC bikes are just like with me from my heart. Like, I don't know, I just feel like they're like a bike that I can always rely on. But at the moment, I'm currently riding a Mafia because this bike's just really good for me personally, with the size and everything. And I'm hoping that SC bikes make something similar so that I can buy from them, because I do just prefer the way SC bikes feel. And I feel like Mafia bikes do feel kind of cheap when you actually ride them, and you can feel that you've paid a lot less money. Like, when you're riding an SC bike, it feels kind of premium, whereas when you're riding one of these, it feels like you have got the cheaper end of the scale. So I don't know, I am actually getting a job in the next week, hopefully, if everything goes well. So you never know, some of the 2020, would it be the 2021 or the 2022 SE bikes are going to be mine. I'm telling you that now. And I don't know which ones yet, but I've seen the Duro and it's looking very nice, and it's looking like the Duro that I want to buy. So hopefully I do manage to buy the Duro, but obviously I do want to get a car and stuff because I am 17 now, so I'm old enough to get a car. But I also wanted to get a C100 frame and build that up and do a kind of little series with that. So if you do like the idea of me building up a C100 frame, because I do know someone that has one, and I'm going to offer him some money to buy it, and I'll see what he says, but you never really know, to be honest. So yeah, I haven't really got too much else to say on the video. If you did like this, it was something a bit different, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And if this video does get, I'd say, about 30 likes, then I'll do SC bikes versus collective bikes, and then if that video does well, then I'll do collective bikes versus Mafia bikes. So do a little series of it, but those are the only ones I could really do, because I don't know, the other companies that you might be thinking of, I don't know, like Carrera or something, they're not proper wheelie companies. Those are like the 3 main wheelie companies that you get. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'm gonna go eat my food.